You ever get that nagging feeling in the pit of your stomach when you see someone else succeeding? It's like a tiny voice whispering, "Why not me?" This feeling can creep up on you when you least expect it, and it can be hard to shake off. Or maybe you catch yourself scrolling through social media, comparing your life to the perfectly curated lives of others. You see their vacations, their promotions, their seemingly perfect relationships, and suddenly, your own life feels inadequate. It's a cycle that's hard to break, and it can leave you feeling empty and frustrated. Let's be honest, folks, we've all been there. It's a universal experience, yet it's something we rarely talk about openly. We mask it with smiles and polite conversation, but deep down that green-eyed monster is lurking. It's a part of being human, but it's also a part we often feel ashamed of. Today we're diving into the emotion nobody likes to admit, jealousy. It's an emotion that can be both destructive and enlightening. On one hand, it can drive a wedge between you and the people you care about. On the other hand, it can serve as a mirror, reflecting your deepest desires and insecurities, what it really means, where it comes from, and what it secretly says about you. Jealousy often stems from a place of fear of not being good enough, fear of missing out, fear of being left behind. But it also reveals what you truly value and what you aspire to achieve. By understanding jealousy, you can turn it into a tool for personal growth rather than letting it control you. Look, jealousy isn't pretty, but it's primal. It's a holdover from our caveman days. Back then, resources were scarce. You had to fight tooth and nail for your share of food, shelter, and mates. Jealousy was a survival mechanism, a way to protect what you had and go after what you needed. And guess what? It's still wired into our DNA today. Ever wonder why jealousy feels so awful? It's a feeling that can consume you, making you feel like you're spiraling out of control. You might find yourself obsessing over someone else's success, their relationships, or even their possessions. But why does it hurt so much? It's not just in your head. Jealousy is a complex emotion that has deep roots in our evolutionary history. It's a survival mechanism that has helped humans compete for resources, mates, and social standing. But in today's world, it can feel more like a curse than a blessing. Brain scans show that jealousy lights up the same areas of the brain as physical pain. When you feel jealous, your brain activates the anterior cingulate cortex and the prefrontal cortex, the same regions that process physical pain. This means that the emotional pain of jealousy is not just metaphorical, it's very real and tangible. That's right, the sting of rejection, the fear of missing out, it registers in your brain like a punch to the gut. This is why jealousy can feel so overwhelming and all-consuming. It's not just an emotional response, it's a physical one too. Your body reacts as if you're under threat, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a physical threat and an emotional one. It's all about survival. When you feel jealous, your brain is trying to protect you from a perceived threat, even if that threat is just someone else's success or happiness. Understanding this can help you manage your jealousy better. Instead of letting it consume you, recognize it for what it is, a natural, albeit uncomfortable, part of being human. Now, we usually think of jealousy in romantic relationships, and believe me, that's a whole other show. But jealousy can rear its ugly head in any area of life. Career, finances, friendships, you name it. The root cause? Comparison. We're constantly sizing ourselves up against others, wondering if we measure up. And when we feel like we don't, jealousy sets in. Social media, the jealousy machine. Let's talk about social media for a minute. It's a breeding ground for jealousy. Think about it, you're bombarded with images of perfect vacations, perfect bodies, perfect lives. But here's the thing, it's all a facade. People only post what they want you to see. They're not showing you the struggles, the insecurities, the behind-the-scenes mess. Don't fall for the highlight reel. The body doesn't lie. You can try to hide jealousy, but your body will betray you. We're talking subtle cues, micro-expressions, a forced smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Maybe their voice changes, gets a little tighter, a little higher. Pay attention to those non-verbal cues. They speak volumes. The jealousy addiction. Here's a scary thought. Jealousy can become addictive. The more you compare yourself, the worse you feel. But here's the kicker. That feeling actually triggers the release of dopamine, the feel-good hormone. It's a vicious cycle. You get a little hit of pleasure from the pain of jealousy, and before you know it, you're hooked. Ever notice that you're more likely to feel jealous of someone you perceive as being on your level? A colleague, a close friend, someone you went to school with. It's called proximity. The closer you are to someone, the more likely you are to compare yourself to them, and the higher the stakes, the more intense the jealousy. You can't just wish jealousy away. It's a natural human emotion that everyone experiences at some point in their lives. Whether it's envy over someone else's success, possessions, or relationships, jealousy can creep in and take hold of our thoughts and feelings. Ignoring it or pretending it doesn't exist won't make it disappear. In fact, it often makes the feeling stronger and more persistent. In fact, trying to suppress it only makes it worse. When we push our feelings of jealousy down, they don't just go away, they linger beneath the surface, growing and festering. This can lead to increased anxiety, stress, and even resentment. It's important to recognize that these feelings are valid and that it's okay to feel them. What matters is how we choose to deal with them. It's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. You can exert all your energy trying to keep it submerged, but eventually it's going to slip from your grasp and shoot back up to the surface. The more force you use to push it down, the more forceful its return will be. This is similar to how suppressed emotions work. You can keep it down for a while, but eventually it's going to pop back up, usually with more force than before. When jealousy resurfaces, it can be more intense and harder to manage. It might come out in unexpected ways, affecting your behavior and relationships. This is why it's crucial to address these feelings head-on, rather than letting them build up. The key is to acknowledge the feeling, understand where it's coming from, and then decide what you're going to do with it. Take a moment to reflect on why you're feeling jealous. Is it because of insecurity, fear of loss, or a sense of inadequacy? Once you identify the root cause, you can work on addressing it. This might involve talking to a trusted friend or therapist, practicing self-compassion, or finding ways to improve your own situation. By facing jealousy directly, you can transform it into an opportunity for personal growth and self-improvement. Jealousy is rarely about the other person. It's about you. It's a giant neon sign flashing, "Pay attention, something's off." Maybe you're feeling insecure in your relationship, or you're not going after what you truly want in life. Jealousy is a symptom, not the disease. Dig deeper and figure out what's really going on. Now, don't get me wrong, jealousy can be destructive, but it can also be a powerful motivator. Instead of letting it eat you alive, use it as fuel. Let it show you what you value, what you aspire to. Channel that energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Turn that jealousy into ambition, into action. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve. We've all felt the sting of jealousy. It's a part of the human experience. But remember, it's not the enemy, it's a messenger. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. Jealousy isn't weakness. It's a powerful emotion with a purpose. Want more eye-opening truths about human behavior? Comment and follow.